And this one definitely catches your eye. I mean, if that doesn't catch your eye, nothing's gonna catch your eye. Holy moly. Hello everybody, I just wanted to show you something that we got at last week's yard sales that I have not got around to making a video for yet, and it may be a little while before we put it out, and I'm hoping to sell some of these before then. I just wanted to show you a little bit about perfumes that I haven't really gotten into until the last couple of years. There was probably 4 or 5 years there where I had not sold any at all, and now I start looking for them. I see them all the time out there on other shows, and I know Matt at Part-Time Pickers has sold some, and I just start looking for them now. And this was one that I found. Each one of this was, I asked for this one. I'm like, how much for this one? It's $1. You can tell it's old by the way. It's almost like Art Deco-y, sort of ish. At any rate, it's full. And this Fendi, because of the ounces, I think it's 3.3 ounces on here, and it's an old, obviously an old one, and it's brand new, or it looks to be brand new anyways. I haven't even popped the cap off of it. It should be, I would think $100 item is my guess. From what I see out there in comps, should be $100. And when I saw that for $1, I was like, well, for $1, I'm just gonna throw in the other ones too. So we bought this one for $1, and this one, and this one. These look like $20 to $40. Haven't looked them up since we left that sale. And this one looks a little used, but it should be good for $20 to $30 too, I believe. At the same sale, we got some Christmas ornaments. Since Christmas is coming up, I thought I'd show you now. Now, I've heard the name Christopher Radko, and I'm sure a lot of you resellers out there really know it, or your antique booths out there, you guys know this. I've heard the name, I've never come across it, I've never sold it. And this one just caught my eye. I think I was digging in a box, I'm not quite sure. And this one definitely catches your eye. I mean, if that doesn't catch your eye, nothing's gonna catch your eye. Holy moly. And these go for around $20 to $25 plus shipping. This should go for a little bit more, maybe $40 plus shipping. It still has the tags on it. It's the 3 of hearts. So both are Christopher Radko. I just thought they were really kind of neat. So at any rate, make sure you're looking out for stuff like this, and definitely those perfumes out there. Hello everybody, welcome back to Commonwealth Picker. This is Kevin, and we are in the eBay cave. And as you can see here, if you've been watching the show, I'm paying off a debt here. I'm paying off a bet to a rideshare reseller out there. We bet on the Rams and 49ers, and unfortunately, I lost the bet. So don't let anybody tell you that I don't pay off my bets. So I picked this one because it was a slow sales day, so I could get this thing off pretty quick. And then as I'm getting ready to tape this and getting ready to ship, I start selling stuff like crazy. So it turned out to be a pretty good day, even though I'm wearing this awful shirt. This was an item actually that I bought for $1, and it's logo 7. So here's a little bolo for you. It hasn't sold. I put it out there for like 20 bucks. I've had to drop it. It's because it's got a little bit of bleeding in it. But for $1, this shirt should be like a $25 shirt. It's true vintage. I got it at the 100 Mile Yard Sale on 29 last year, and we sold tons of this kind of stuff. Celtics and 49ers and Lakers. Made a bunch of money off of it. And there's just a couple of straggler items, pins and things like that. And this is one of those straggler items. So I didn't even realize I still had it. And I'm like, you know what? I bet I still have one of those, and I could pay off my debt with it. So here it is. And I'll have to talk really, really quickly so that I can get this thing off and get back in some normal clothes. So anyway, I had to bring Sophie for moral support today. So we have $282.46 going out of the Commonwealth Picker store. And as you can see behind me, there's a Halloween outfit that's going out. Last minute, should get there just in time for Halloween. And this sold for $32.95, I believe, is what the sales price is. Let me double check, make sure I have it correct. $32.95 plus shipping. And it was a buy. We bought this and the male version of it. This is a female one. Don't ask me why there's a female one, but I guess you want to go as a couple. I don't know. And it sold for $32.95, and the male version I think sold for $44.95, and we paid $2 for both of them last year. So this is really, really good profit. And if you're out there and you see Top Gun stuff, especially right now, it sells really, really well. So We had 2 Happy Little Accident sales, and if you haven't seen that video, you can go back and look. Maybe I'll link it here. One yard sale, $200 buy 2 days after the yard sale was over, 3 days after the yard sale was over, and we came back and they let us pick the whole thing for 200 bucks. And we've been selling it and selling it and selling it. It wasn't easy money, but it was really, really good money with a little bit of work. And Blue Ridge Mama listed a bunch of this Creative Memories, and there's just a few things left. This sold for $24.95 plus shipping. It's the 2 cases and a bunch of pens. Most of them have been used, but some of them have not, so it's still in really, really good shape. The other item that came from the Happy Little Accident was this Husqvarna, and to be honest with you, I forgot I had it until it sold. I'm like, where did I put this thing? Took me a minute to find it, but we found it. I had it in sideways. And this was a really, really good buy. Unfortunately, it had some leakage of some oil on it. Unfortunately, we listed that in there, but it sold for $90, 90 bucks. So free shipping, but it's going to Tennessee. So we're going to make 72 or $3 on it. So here is the Happy Little Accident running total, $1,693. So our goal is $2,500 by Christmas, and we are inching closer and closer every day. But at the same time, we're also running out of merchandise that we bought. So this is including our 3 antique booths, and we have items from this sale in each of the 3. But most of those items are in the Christmas booth that we just opened. So those should be selling off pretty quick. And in the booth, we're not going to make a ton, but we should be able to add to this total with those sales. All right, now this is an item I have no idea where it came from, to be perfectly honest with you. Blue Ridge Mama must have bought it. I guess I have no idea. And it is exclusive. It says Paragraph. Classic materials made in India, and it's leather. So I don't know where it came from, but she must have picked it up at Goodwill is my guess. Not a huge profit, sold for $19, free shipping. So it should be about an $8 to $10 profit, somewhere around there. Sold a Liberty football t-shirt for 10 bucks. These are always good for a quick $5 profit, and we sell a lot of them. This one happened to be new, size XL. We had a huge buy in the early summer, late spring, early summer, probably the end of May, beginning of June, of some anime stuff from Japan and some different DVDs. We bought a whole box of it for like, I think we paid $10 for a whole box of it. We've made a ton of money, and there's just 2 left, and this was one of the last 2. Glass Fleet, it says, and it sold for $11, free shipping. And so that should be about a $6 profit on that item, $7 profit, because we're already in the profit for that. So anime stuff sells pretty good, and I don't know much about it, but I know enough to look it up when I find it and buy it in bulk when I find it. All right, now this is the stuff that I always tell myself I'm just not going to do anymore, but then the profit is just so good when it sells that it's hard not to. It's not amazing, but you know, I paid $2 for this thing. And it's a huge Cranberry Visions Corningware, and it sold for $29 plus shipping. And so it's going to be like a $20 after fees and everything. It's going to be like a $24 profit. We're going to make a little bit on the shipping. So about $24 profit, maybe $23 profit. And I've gotten pretty good at packaging these over the years, and I haven't had one break on me, knock on wood, in probably 3 years. And I've sold dozens and dozens over the last 3 years. I sell probably 1 or 2 a month of something similar to this. The big ones are good, and they're actually easier to ship one big one than it is to ship a lot of these things. And the Amber Visions Corningware is also really good if you want to deal with spending 15 to 20 minutes of packaging something. If packaging and shipping is something you don't want to do, then I would suggest not doing these. But I like them. The money's pretty good. I've just been selective as to which ones I'm going to buy, which ones sell, and which ones don't sell. Another good thing about having those booths is when I get too much of it and it's hard to store, I'll just take a few and take them to the booth, and I'll end up making, you know, like that at the booth I'd probably sell for $10 or $12, maybe $14. And, you know, I paid $2, so I'll make a quick $10 to $12 on it, as opposed to making twice as much, but having to do a lot more work, so. You want to say goodbye to everybody? I'm sure we'll put something else on the end of this video, but I got to get out of this 49er shirt. So tell them to subscribe below. And thank you for so many of you out there who have subscribed and all the kind words, and give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to hit that bell as well. And thank you again for all the people who have been using those affiliate links. I know people have been, even though you haven't been telling me. You know, send me a comment so we can give you a thank you. It seems like every couple of days somebody buys something. It's usually, if I can find them, it's usually these magnets or this little scales for the jewelry that people have seen our jewelry video that Brandon did for us, and people have been buying those to hopefully find some gold jewelry out there like we've been fortunate enough to find, and that's usually the item that's getting bought. So anyway, thanks again, and we can't wait to see you next time. Hello everybody, welcome back to Commonwealth Picker. I have a feeling this won't be its own episode. Matter of fact, I was down here doing a little bit of work, taking some pictures of some things that needed to be listed because winter's coming. And I was like, what are we going to do? We had sold one item all day, which would have been the worst sales day in probably 5 years for us. And I'm thinking, what am I going to put on a video? I'm going to have to ask the kids to do something cute because there's nothing going to be on this video. And while I was taking some pictures, I was in here, I was listening to a little Dean Martin, if you can believe that. I know I look young, but I'm really kind of old, and I love old Dino. And listening to some of that and doing a little bit of work, and I didn't know what to do. And all of a sudden, I started to hear the cha-ching. And so we got 4 more sales in the last 40 minutes. And I figured, hey, what the heck? We won't make it this its own video. We'll tack it on to another one. But at least the kids don't have to do somersaults in here. Matter of fact, they're not even here. Blue Ridge Mama is out with them. Reagan has gymnastics, and Turner is doing some karate tonight. So we're here alone. My boy is in the other room doing some homework. I don't know if he can hear me or not, but I don't know. Maybe I can get him to come in here. I think those girls in my history class got a shot of him the other day when he's on here. I think they think he's kind of cute, so maybe we shouldn't do that. So at any rate, we are going to show you what's sold here today, and after that, we're going to probably tack this onto another video. So we did have some sales of some items we just recently listed, which is really good. And we had a total of $135.83 in sales. And almost all of that came in the last 40 minutes. So we went 23 hours and 20 minutes with no sales at all practically, except for one. And ironically, since eBay's had all these glitches and trouble, it's always been with clothes. So the only sale we had was a sweater. So let me show it to you. All right, so this is a vintage Alfred Dunner sweater. And it's in really good shape. Now, this has an interesting story on it. And I was driving around Bedford, Virginia, and doing some errands, and I saw an estate sale was still going on a Sunday afternoon that I didn't even know existed. I didn't even know the estate sale was there. I didn't go to it on Saturday. I didn't go to it Sunday morning. And I saw a sign. I'm like, well, and they didn't advertise this one very well. And sure enough, when I got there, there was still tons and tons of stuff there. It was pretty picked over, and I picked a few things here and there that I thought we could make some money on, and was on my way home, and I started to see, you know, the family kind of cleaning stuff up and boxing it up, and I had no other yard sale to go to. I wasn't even planning on going to this one. I saw them bagging up clothes, and there was tons of bags of clothes. I'm like, hey, are y'all taking this to Goodwill? What are you doing? They're like, yeah, we're taking everything to Goodwill. And so I bought a few more things from them because I'm like, hey, if you're bringing it to Goodwill, you know, let me give you a few. I can make a little bit of money off this. You can make a little bit of money off this. And I bought a few more things, and I said, hey, if you want those bags of clothes right there, throw them all in my truck, and I'm going to take them home, and I'm going to look through them, and I'll take them to Goodwill for you. And that's exactly what we did. Me and Blue Ridge Mama looked through them, and we pulled out 10 or 12 things we thought we could make money on. And I pulled out, well, to be honest with you, I pulled out about 20 things that I thought she could make money on. And then she threw a bunch out and said, no, we're taking these back to the Goodwill too, because she wasn't going to put in the work to make $3, $4. But this is one of those borderline ones that we ended up getting $16.25 for it. So it's not going to be a big profit, but it was a free item. And she listed it, and, you know, we'll make $7, $8 on it, I guess. Maybe a little bit more, depending on how light it is. It's going to stay under 16 ounces, but it might be over 12. So depending on where it goes, we'll make some money on it. So that's a nice sale for her, and it's free money. And I was pretty excited when I heard that second cha-ching, and I wasn't very excited when I saw it was a $5.95 sale for some backgammon replacement pieces, which is pretty much not worth our time to put in the bag, but we do it anyways. Now, you might actually see me taking pictures of this earlier in this video, which would have been the day before, and I have not aired the video to this yard sale. I came across this older couple that were selling their home and kind of liquidating all their property or all of their possessions, not all of them, and they were moving to be closer to their kids, and they had some really neat stuff, and the lady there was just cracking me up. They were giving me great prices on stuff, so I couldn't even leave, and I kept finding some interesting things. This being one of them right here, and she's like, that's $1, that's $1, and she told me, I'm like, how much is this? She's like, that's $1. She's like, that's a great deal on that too, and she told me, she said, that's a Christopher Radko. And I'm like, okay, I don't know who Christopher Radko is, but it's pretty cool looking, and I like it. And there's a tag on it I saw for $48. And I said, well, thank you. And she kept, I mean, they were, you know, giving me good prices, and I kept buying and buying. It was towards the end of their sale. It was a 2-day sale, and this was it for them. So I think most of that stuff was going to end up going, being donated at the end of the day. And so she was happy to give me some good deals. And this thing's kind of neat. I thought it was blown glass, but it's not. It's metal. You can hear that. And it's a clown. It looks like a clown, but it's a 3 of hearts, kind of like Alice in Wonderland style. And I think it's really kind of cool. I think it's metal. It sure sounds like it. What do you think? Definitely doesn't sound like that blown glass. But either way, I'm going to protect it and get it shipped off. And I listed it probably a little under market value. There's one out there listed for like $80, but it had no watchers. It had been out there, and you know, I'm like, hey, I'm gonna list it for half that. And we got $39.94 free shipping. It's really light, so I paid $1 for it, and I was really happy to make that profit. There was one other one that went with it that should go for $15 to $20. And so that was a really nice sale. And they had already made me some great deals. I bought some magazines off of them. We couldn't come to a deal on some woodworking magazines that the gentleman really wanted to keep. I don't think his wife wanted him to keep it, but he did. So, but we did make a good deal on some hot rod magazines that you should see on here not too long. All right, the next item is a Tourmaster motorcycle jacket, and it's the kind that's got the two. It's got the inside jacket that zips into this. It's called a, what do they call it? A transition jacket. So it's Transition 3.0. It had a couple of minor issues, but it's in really good shape. And this, believe it or not, came from the Happy Little Accident. And if you're new to the program, I always try to remember. Sometimes I link it, sometimes I don't. But if you look up Happy Little Accident Commonwealth Picker, you'll be able to find it. It's got the one with the Bob Ross thumbnail on it, because we found a few Bob Ross things. And we paid $200 for everything there, and this was in there. And we sold it for $50 plus shipping. Again, about $5 to $10 under the market value, and we sold it pretty quick. We don't always go under the market value, but occasionally we do. When we, you know, I found 3 or 4 of these similar out there that hadn't sold, that were priced fairly high with no watchers, and I'm like, hey, we're just gonna undercut this thing, and it'll be the first one to go. And it took about a week, and we sold it. So $50 plus shipping. And we're going to take this one and the next item, and we're going to put it on the Happy Little Accident tally and show you how much we've made so far. So if you've been watching the show, you know we paid $200 for everything that we took home that day. And we have been tallying up the things as they sell, and our goal was $2,500. That particular couple had to get rid of that stuff. And ironically, I don't know if I ever said this, but 2 days later, I went to Goodwill, and everything we passed up was in the Goodwill. I didn't even go through and pick it. Everybody was picking through it. I'm like, well, I kind of already picked this stuff. Although I probably could have gone through it with a little bit of more of a fine-tooth comb. But we filled that truck up. And our goal is $2,500 by Christmas. And I said we're definitely going to get to $2,000. And we're going to get there probably within the next 2 weeks. Definitely by Thanksgiving. And hopefully we don't run out of stuff from that yard sale to sell. We have a bunch of stuff in the booth too, so $2,500 is our goal by Christmas. The next item was from the Happy Little Accident. We bought a toolbox there that I thought I could resell the toolbox and resell the tools out of it. And in reality, what I did was keep the toolbox and keep most of the tools. And there's a few things we could resell. This is a Dasco Pro pin punch set, and it's a set of 6, which is a full set, but they are in kind of rough condition. But, I mean, hey, they still work, right? And I made a mistake listing these. I listed them for $9.95 free shipping, and my intention was to list them for $9.95 plus shipping, and put shipping around $3.75. These are going to be 12 ounces to ship, so I wanted the buyer to pay shipping, and I forgot to do that, or I changed it. I did something wrong. Whatever. We're still going to make $5 on them, and they sold really, really quickly. I think I listed them last night, so you know, we lost a couple bucks on the deal, but we still made $5 on it. We're going to add it to our total. All right, so here's the happy little accident total after putting both of those items on there. $1,742 is where we're at right now. So we're going to get these things packaged up. I know there's been a lot of people out there that like watching the video of the shipping. I don't really teach anything. I just kind of show you how I do it, and people have asked, you know, about, you know, how to cut the boxes and stuff, and I figure the best way to do it is to show it to you, and that's what I've been doing. I think that I'm going to try to do that at least once a week, maybe twice a week. Occasionally we'll take an item that's kind of tough to ship, or somebody asked me about a Scrabble board. How did you package that? And I don't think I put that on a video. And basically what I do is I take a big cardboard box, and I'll use it like wrapping paper, and I'll wrap it around it. But there's other ways to do it too. Bubble wrap the heck out of it and put it in a construction or what do they call it? Contractor bag, and that's another way to do it. So there's different ways to do it, and we'll try to keep showing you those things if that's what you like to watch, and if you don't like to watch it, then just skip it. Anyway, thank you for subscribing. Thank you for leaving your comments and being so positive and complimenting my kids and my family and my dog even. She's rotten. Y'all shouldn't be so nice to that dog. She just wants treats and to lay around and do nothing. Matter of fact, she's upstairs right now. I said, you want to come downstairs and get on the show? And she looked up and she laid her head back down. So anyway, thanks for joining us. We'll probably add this. This is probably going to be at the beginning or an ending of another video, so I guess you'll know before I do. So, all right, see you next time. We appreciate you being here, and don't forget to ring that bell.